It's the Half Hour Wasted and Legion of Dudes podcasts. This is Jordan from Jersey with the Legion of Dudes, and this is what I thought of the comics I read the weeks of August 4th and 11th, 2010. That's right, I had a couple busy weeks, so I'm just going to lump everything together in this one episode and get them all out of the way, and then we'll be caught up. First up, Secret Warriors issue 18. This continues the story concerning Captain America and the Howling Commandos and Nick Fury all getting together, while at the same time Dum Dum Dugan is testifying before the UN about a mission that went wrong in China, or went right, but mostly wrong. It's still kind of convoluted in that I don't really know everything that's happened yet because it's being told in so many different pieces and backtracks. Hopefully by next issue, which I believe is the end of this arc, but not 100% on that, hopefully it'll be a lot more clear. But I like it so far. The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 639, One Moment in Time, part 2 of 4. This issue was better than the first one because at least we didn't have the old art alongside the new art that was trying to look like the old art, so it didn't feel so disjointed there. It had some interesting things in it, like we found out that Spider-Man's still unmasked, even in the Brand New Day universe, but somehow he still got his identity erased again. We don't know exactly how that happened. Still not good, but not as terrible as the last one. 2 weekends ago, I actually got the privilege of going up to Kevin Smith's 40th birthday show up in Red Bank, New Jersey. I got to meet him. You probably can't tell from here, but this one and this one, both signed by him and Walt Flanagan. I got my ticket to the show right there, so I got to talk to both of them. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being so gracious and talking to me for a few minutes about Batman: The Widening Gyre and Cacophony and what your plans are in that series. Really, really cool stuff, and I can't wait to see what comes next there. And the last of the comics that came out last week, we have Deadpool 1000. If you like Deadpool 900, you'll probably like this one. It's a bunch of short stories. Some were better than others. There was a couple that I didn't like at all, but there were so many of them that the good ones I thought made up for the bad ones. And then there's a nice cover gallery at the end of alternate covers from other comic books. Some of them I know for sure came out, but others I think were made just for this. I don't know. Maybe all of them came out before, but some I wasn't sure about. Anyway, it's only $5 for a huge comic. It's at least triple size, probably. So it's worth it. If you like Deadpool at all, you're going to like Deadpool issue 1000. Don't forget to check out hhwlod.com, hhwlod.com for the Half Hour Wasted and Legion of Dudes podcast. Just released today, because it's Thursday as I record this. Episode 103 of the Legion of Dudes. It's my first episode as a lead host, where I got to pick the book and direct the conversation. I picked Universal War 1 from Marvel. We did the first 3 issues. We're going to do the second 3 a little bit later. I love the comic. It's phenomenal. It's awesome. Check out the episode where we go. It's full spoilers, but since you got to check down the comic first anyway, just listen to the episode. If it sparks your interest at all, you're going to want to check out Universal War 1. We've been doing Dark Knight Returns, part 2 of that's coming out soon. We're going to be having an Expendables movie review. Tons of good stuff. And check out Half Hour Wasted as well. They just had a very funny episode that involved a lot of food products. I'll just leave it at that. And let's get back to the comics. So for the first of the comics we had this week, we had Thanos Imperative issue number 306. There's Thanos right on the front there. This issue wasn't quite as incredible as the last one, but it was still really good. I mean, the last one just had so many stakes-raising moments right in a row. This one still had a couple. The Galactus engine, which is the Cancer versus Galactus, wasn't the only engine to come over. We also got engine versions of, like, as far as I can tell, all the Celestials as well, and maybe even Thanos. But they're just basically giant heads mounted on what look like freight engines coming through, and they're just huge. We get to see the death of a Celestial. And I think I was saying Eternals last week, and that's not actually what I was looking for. Celestials. But the Universal Abstracts, essentially. We get to find out exactly how the Cancerverse was created, and it was all pretty much Lord Marvel's fault. And how it kind of separated from our universe. All kinds of cool stuff. It's really... check this one out. Thanos Imperative. It's only 3 issues and a prologue out so far. Easy to find, and it's just really awesome. They put Beta Ray Bill in the book. Let's just put it that way. Also, check out forumforgeeks.com. Can't forget forumforgeeks.com. Loving the forums. Comic book talk, movie talk, TV talk. Pretty much as soon as we find out about it, it's going up on the forums for lots of discussion. Really cool stuff. So forumforgeeks.com, check it out. And then finally for this week, we have Locke and Key, Keys to the Kingdom, issue number 1 of 6. And as I just noticed, in 18 issues, it's all over. Now, to be fair, there's only 18 issues, well, 19, counting this one, out so far. So halfway point of Locke and Key. And without a doubt, it's one of my favorite books on the stands right now. The miniseries are just so awesome. The art is beautiful. I mean, even the way the covers are constructed, where they got the glossy portions, it's hard to tell there, but the blood is definitely glossy. With the flat portions, I love that. Nice thick cardstock, beautiful art, great writing. I mean, just phenomenal writing. This particular issue is a tribute to Bill Watterson and Calvin and Hobbes. And I am not, like, overstating that. Gabriel Rodriguez modifies his art for half the book, so it looks just like Calvin and Hobbes. And Joe Hill modifies his writing for half the book, so it sounds just like Calvin and Hobbes, but with an adult twist, because this is a very violent book. And, yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's very crazy to see what they did with this first issue. I don't think it's going to continue for the rest of the miniseries, but just like the issue that happened, I think it was issue 5 of the last one, Crown of Shadows, which was almost all splash pages in the beginning. Hill and Rodriguez are not afraid of just completely throwing everything they've done away before, just throwing it away and starting with a different concept, art-wise, layout-wise, and just doing something awesome and crazy and something you would not expect in the middle of a series. They're not just going to hand you the same thing every time. I don't know when I pick up an issue of Locke and Key whether it's going to be a straightforward narrative, whether it's going to seem like the majority of the issues, or whether it's going to be something like this, where I've got Calvin and Hobbes art with blood everywhere, and it's just awesome. The level of just how Hill and Rodriguez are able to work together to create this book, it boggles my mind. It's almost a Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons on Watchmen type deal, where there must be so much communication between these two guys just to get everything to work, and it works so well. So check out Locke and Key. Like I said, this is the 19th issue. Then there's only 17 after this. It's not a huge investment, and it is so worth the money. I mean, Locke and Key, one of the best books on the stand today. Go check it out from IDW Comics. That's it for the comics I read for the weeks of August 4th and 11th. It's been a long 2 weeks, but a good 2 weeks. And hopefully next week I'll get my comics to you just a little bit earlier, because it's, like I said, I was late. But hey, I went to see Kevin Smith's birthday show. It was awesome. It just took a lot of time out of my week and times I could have recorded. So check out hhwled.com, Universal War 1, Episode 1. Check it out. It's really awesome. Check out forumforgeeks.com. Have a good week. I need to go to bed. Or actually, Scott Pilgrim. I might be going to see Scott Pilgrim in like an hour and a half. So, bye. It's the Half Hour Wasted and Legion of Dudes podcasts.